yet another cake, another Armenian cake with an interesting name, and this one is called Mesrop Mashtots. And who Mesrop Mashtots is? He's a creator of Armenian alphabet. So I don't know why the cake would have his name, but since it's named like that, we're gonna call the cake by his name. And what the cake is, it's a sponge layers with walnuts, topped with topped with coffee flavored buttercream, and it has meringue in the center. That's your favorite. Yes, I'm gonna give this to you. And yeah, it does have meringue in the center, and we usually decorate it with a good amount of meringues. So I already made the meringue because it takes quite a time. You want this?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I already made a couple of videos how to make a meringue. So I'll put the link for those videos below this video so you can check it out. And of course, it will be detailed in the recipe on my blog at Heghineh.com. Okay, so the meringue is ready. What we need is, the cake is going to be round shaped, and the meringue will be round shaped as well, and will go in between two layers. So we want to make sure we have the right size for the meringue. That's why I simply used one of my pens to draw a line on my parchment paper. Okay, and also besides that one layer of meringue, we also need a couple of meringue stars or meringue kisses to top the cake with. But there's one thing about this meringue. When my mom used to make the entire meringue layer in one whole piece, and it would take her probably 3 to 4 hours to dry that meringue, because you know, thick meringue, it has to bake at least 3 hours to come out nice and thick and dry. So because we don't want to wait 3 to 4 hours, I'm going to simply make two round meringues and put them together, thinner layers, and put them together. And I'm going to start by, I already draw a line for one of them, and okay, can I have that a little bit? And for the what I was gonna do, okay, let me show you quickly. And I'll make one on this layer, and then another one I'll make on this one baking sheet. Simply draw the line and make sure it's on the other side of the paper. You don't want it to touch you. I love you too. Okay, so I'll go ahead and first I'll do a couple of those stars for the cake decor. One more. And you can use this simply to attach the paper. So on one side I'll make the round meringue, and then the rest I'll do the stars. You're done? Okay, so I made a couple of these star shape or flower shape meringues. The rest I'm going to simply place on those circle shape. Yeah, this is very big. And just eyeball in two equal. You want this? Here, go. And with your spatula, simply give it a round shape, just like that. And you can start preheating the oven to 250 degrees. We'll bake this about an hour to 1.5 hours, or even less than that. When we see it's dry, we can remove it. It doesn't have to be perfectly round. We can always trim slightly. And since it's a coffee-based cake, coffee cream-based cake, I'm going to slightly drizzle my stars with instant coffee. This is the same coffee we'll be using for the cream. And it's completely optional. You can even decorate the cake just the way you like it, with shaved chocolate, or I don't know, walnut chunks. Okay, so we'll bake this until it's ready. while the meringue is getting ready, we're gonna work on the frosting. And the frosting, the cream, as we call it, is a cooked cream, zavarnoi krem. We call it, and I say it in Russian. In Armenian, we say the Russian word for the cream. Anyways, we have 1 egg, some...
But I cracked the egg.
It's already cracked. You cracked it yesterday, remember? We have sugar, egg, and I'm going to mix the sugar and egg. Add my flour, 2 tablespoons of flour, and mix a little bit more to combine. No, I want to mix it. I want to make it quick. And I started simmering my milk. I'll show you how we do this. This is very similar to making the custard cream. Like so. And I just brought the recipe by myself. Okay, I can't remember things, you know. Okay, so that's that. And to this we're going to add, where is that? Okay, our coffee, and wait for the milk to slightly simmer. We don't want to boil the milk, we're gonna simply simmer it. Okay, did I forget anything? No. Okay, so I'll mix this quickly and wait for the milk to warm up. Yeah, I said milk. This started simmering, and of course I forgot something. Starch. 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. I'll mix this quickly, and I will add just a little bit of my a little bit of milk. Oops. And then a little bit more. You don't want to cook the eggs, although it's already mixed with sugar. I don't think it will cook. So like that, mix it to make sure there are no lumps for the coffee or anything. Now we can add all at once, and I'm going to place this whole mixture into my pot and start cooking and simmering until it's nice and thick. It will take probably 5 to 7 minutes. And we'll continue stirring all the time. On medium to low heat. Okay, this is ready. This is what you're looking for. Thick and very thick consistency. And I will place this over an ice bowl, in a bowl over another ice bowl to cool down faster. Although we still have to do the layers and the meringue is still baking, but I'm sure we'll be done with this in less than an hour or so. Okay, so I'll let this cool down and we'll start making the layers. Quickly about the ingredients for the cake batter. We have unsalted butter room temperature, sugar, and we're going to beat that on high speed until fluffy and pale. And we also need room temperature egg yolks, sour cream, vanilla extract, I said flour, baking powder, baking soda, pinch of salt over there. And I'll beat this on high speed and start combining my dry ingredients very quickly. A noisy day. As the batter becomes fluffy, we can start adding our vanilla extract, and slowly we'll add in our egg yolks. 1 or 2 at a time. And I didn't get to combine my dry ingredients. So in a bowl, you want to mix this quickly, Therese?
Yeah. Well,
This one.
yes.
And a pinch of salt. And yes, we also need walnuts, and I forgot to crush the walnuts. We need finely crushed walnuts. You're gonna crush them, okay?
Yeah.
You like crushing, huh?
Yeah.
Of course you do.
Mom, let's unlist this though.
Huh?
Let's unlist this.
Next on the list is walnuts. And lastly, I'll add my sour cream from wet ingredients. I don't know if I mentioned there was a sour cream too. Of course, room temperature. One more mix and I can start adding my dry ingredients in 2 to 3 portions or additions.
Done.
You're done? No, you need to crush more of this. Okay, for walnuts we don't want to mix it with mixer. We'll simply use our spatula. And I prepared 2 9-inch baking pans, of course lined with parchment paper. Another thing you can do, you can make one cake and split it into 2 layers. I don't know why I don't do that. This way they come out more even and perfectly shaped and baked. So that's that. And I'll quickly eyeball this into, oh, I forgot to add this. Okay, a good amount of walnuts. Walnuts and meringues are the best companions when it comes to cakes. Jan,
I love you.
I love you too. Okay, so we'll bake this about 30 to 35 minutes or until golden brown at 350 degrees. I started beating the batter until it's fluffy and we're making the cream finally. It seems a little bit time consuming, but it's not really that hard or difficult. Just a little bit time consuming. Okay, so the butter is ready and this has been cooling down for a while now. It's nice and cool. Be sure it's completely cool. You don't want to destroy the frosting. When you add it warm, the butter will start making and there you go. You'll have very unsuccessful cream. So on low speed I'm going to add this a tablespoon at a time. On low speed. And yes, the vanilla, of course, a little bit of vanilla extract. Okay, so I slightly trimmed the edges of my meringue and I saved this just in case I decide to decorate the cake. Arka et xavalikov ergurope mixaga Lucin. Let's try the Okay, and we can start arranging, assembling the cake. Okay, I'll use my baking pan on the bottom. I'm gonna transfer this into my cake plate when it's ready. And of course, as simple as we always do, some of the cream on the first layer and then the meringue will go on top. And I'm going to stick the meringues together with some cream. Just like that. Okay, like that. And I'll put this one here. Well, if you have that time and you wanna do the meringue in one piece, you can do that. I'll put that in the recipe. Just make sure you dry the meringue very well. About, as I said, about 3 hours. A little bit of cream should be enough. And I'll put this one, I slightly crushed it. What you want is a very thick meringue layer. This cake has a very excessive amount of meringue, which is for meringue layers is a real heaven. Okay, and I'll do like this. And of course another layer of cream and last one will go on top. That's it. Looks just perfect. And of course these meringues will go on top of the cake, and additionally and very much optionally I made a few more decors. I'm not the best cake decorator. I really wanted this cake to look special as it has a name of very important person. So I made Armenian alphabet from, I simply melted some chocolate and made Armenian alphabet. I'll show you right now. It's in the fridge. So just as even as possible. tutorial on this, how I made it. Okay, this one, hold on. Okay. Okay, so I made a pomegranate to go in the center. I just melted some chocolate, candy melt, and then I melt a few, how do I say it?
Armenian alphabet.
Yeah, I know it's Armenian alphabet. I simply melted some semi-sweet chocolate and I didn't temper the chocolate. That's why I saved it in fridge. If you wanna learn how to temper chocolate, it's a little bit process, something that you need to learn. So I didn't bother to make a tutorial for tempering chocolate. This will work just fine for this cake. And I'm planning on doing that video as well. So I'll quickly place some of my letters on my cake. And probably, listen, stop, take out this. I will put some of these leftover meringues on the sides. My mom used to make this kind of meringues to cover entire cake. It looked like a royal cake, and she would make it only on my father's birthday. We call this cake Dad's birthday cake. We didn't even say the name of the cake. Okay, so that's that. Okay. Listen, that's okay, that's this, that. Okay, I need to wash my hands. Okay, so I'll put a couple of the letters on top of the cake, and some of them I'll put on the sides. John.
Can one?
No, hold on. If I have additional, I'll give it, okay? Just wait. And that's it. This will be all for this. It's very delicious. Honestly, you should try this recipe. This is one of my favorite cakes.
Can we eat it too?
Okay, so the recipe will be on my blog at heghineh.com. Of course, also check the link below this video. And I'm not going to slice the cake yet. This will sit probably 1 or 2 hours in fridge to set and
One.
No, hold on. I'm almost done, Doris. Yes, and if you have any questions, anything you want me to make, especially from Armenian cuisine, let me know. I'll be more than happy. And I was gonna say something. Yes, I'm gonna do a quick tutorial on how I make this, just in case someone wants to know. And of course I'll put detailed description in the recipe as well. Okay, that's it. I think it looks just perfect. No, hold on, Doris. Okay, I'm not the best master with cake decorating, but so far I'm happy. Okay, thank you everyone for watching. Remember to subscribe to my channel and remember to like the video. Again, I keep reminding, I'm already I say this all the time, as Alka says, fruit lavash is still on sale. Remember to grab a dozen for free shipping. And yes, and I'm planning to make an Armenian channel. I may say this in Armenian as well for my Armenian subscribers. I keep getting so many requests for Armenian videos. I may end up doing one once a week probably. Հայերեն ասեմ, պատրաստում եմ հայերեն վիդեոներ անել, չգիտեմ ճիշտ եմ ասում, սխալ եմ ասում, պատրաստվում եմ, նկատի ունեմ մայիսից սկսել, շաբաթը մեկ անգամ, տեսնեմ ոնց կստացվի, տեսնեմ ինչպես են նայվում, ըստ դրա կշարունակեմ։ Այնպես որ կոմենտները կարող եք ինձ տալ, որ վիդեոները կուզենայիք հայերենով դիտել։ Now Beck is playing the same to Lucy. Okay, that's it everyone. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you soon. You want one of this? There you go. You want to put it on the cake?
Yeah, but
How about no?
don't eat
How
it.
about no?
How about everything?
Let me see. Wow, you did it right.
No.
John,
Have one. Can I eat one?
you wanna eat one? Eat one, Dolores.
Eat this. The chocolate triangle. But I want that.
Իմանա, որ երբ ուսերիդ Պարտուշով ունկնք շանքնեմ հիշ Իմ նուր մատները տարապում